It's always quite challenging to speak after lunch. I would love to be sitting there and speaking instead of coming here. I'm sure so many of you would be. I'm just going to cover a little bit about how cyber threats have evolved. Why is cyber threat critical to national critical infrastructure? And how do we go about building a cyber resilient nation? Now, when we think of a cyber attack, our first thought goes to a computer, or what you can do with the computer to attack, hack, lose data, etc. But over a period of time, the threats have evolved to a time when we're looking at how does cybersecurity impact national critical infrastructure. When I talk about national critical infrastructure, I'm talking about power, I'm talking about electricity, water supplies, your hospitalization, transport, oil and gas, right? Your aviation, all of which, your banking, communication, telephones, which are critical to keep your nation live and ticking, right? We'll look at it about it. Earlier on Tuesday this week, it took 3 minutes to lose $136 billion, all because of one tweet. Never before has someone, so few, had the ability to impact so many. This was the amount that was lost. This was the time it took. And all it took was one hacked Twitter account. The AP Twitter account in the US was hacked. A tweet came out which said, a bomb blast in White House said Obama injured. The markets reacted to that and it sank and causing a market loss of $136 billion. Now, that is what a single incident can cause. This happened on Tuesday of this week. You open the paper on each day, and if you are in the business which I am in, where it is important for you to keep aware of what's happening in the cybersecurity world, you would see this is not out of band. This is par for the course. There has never been a time when so few could impact so many, positively or negatively. With apologies to Charles Dickens, we are in a time, it's best of times is the worst of times. A time where technology and innovation leads to unlimited opportunity, it leads to unlimited threats. We also are at a time when if you look at the three megatrends in IT today, which are cloud, big data, and mobility, the underlying infrastructure, the enabler for each of these megatrends is security. That is what would help us to realize the vision and the promise of each of these megatrends today. I'll take you through a few examples of what is happening today in the world. We are moving away from Internet of People to Internet of Everything. We're talking about not people interacting with the Internet, but devices which are becoming smart, which are becoming connected, and which are able to think and act on its own. What happened in that tweet is that while our image or understanding of how trading happens is I would call a broker. The broker would set up a call on the trading platform and the trade would be placed. But in reality, you have a number of algorithmic trading which happens. Now these are high speed algorithmic trading, which trade happens by the machines, right? And what happened on Tuesday is that these algorithmic trading platforms have become smarter. They integrated with news feeds. And the moment the news feed came with an attack, the word bomb, and with Obama and injured, it coded up with all of these things to put together. And even before a human could interact, it made decisions on how to place a sell order, how to stop a buy order. If you're a human, you are going to look at it and say, look, there's nothing on TV, so I'm not going to depend on just one tweet. But today, it is machines which are placing orders and machines which are executing trades. That is what is happening, not only in the trading platform, but also in other aspects of life. We're moving away from a world where connectivity meant a computer or an iPad to a world where everything is connected. Pacemakers are connected. Your ear implants are connected. Your roads, your grids, your power supplies, your meters, all of them have become smart. When you say smart, they become IP enabled, and all for a good reason. The National Smart Grid Mission is expected to spend over $7.5 billion in this 12th five-year plan, enabling ICT infrastructure in the Indian power grid. It will be the attempt of alleviating power shortages to eliminate power blackouts and to ensure better. With the $7.5 billion spent, a significant amount of which is going to go into ICT infrastructure in the power plants, what we need to understand is what are the risks that each of this poses. We'll take a look at a few case studies of what has happened. Most of what I'm going to say is in public domain, so you probably would have heard of it. But let's take the example of a car. Today there's more computing power in your car than in your Pentium machines on your laptop. What it means is there are networks which are connected both within the car and without the car. Your car diagnostics monitoring systems which connect between maybe your tire, your speedometer, your engine diagnostics, an internal network. You then use a Wi-Fi or a Zigbee to connect to an external network. So if you decide then to hack a car, you probably would have to leave your bedroom. All you would need is to compromise the car's in-car navigation telematic systems. Research has shown that you can take control of a car, you can stop and start it, you can control the lightings, you can control digital displays, you can bring car to halt, you can make the car move as long as you're able to get control into the system. University of Washington and University of California and San Diego, they proved that you can take a regular on-road car and able to hack into their systems. What it means, chaos on one end, to speed indicates on the other. Mobility. We're talking about mobility, we're talking about a whole new world of how you do things. And I'm not worried too much about mobile malware, which could be virus, etc., coming onto your device, which is just similar to what would happen to a virus attack on a desktop like this. Mobile devices can be programmed to track, to log in, to record every single move you make, every single keystroke you type. We have been able to prove that if I leave a mobile phone on the table in which you're using your computer, I'm still able to log your keystrokes. If I'm able to activate the camera on the phone without you being aware of it, to be able to record what you see, what you speak, and to be able to relate to what I want. This is not in the realms of fiction, this happens in real life. So mobility adds a whole new dimension. Just like in the World Wide Web in 2000, when the internet was for everything, you're seeing more and more apps, more and more devices, more and more applications which were at one point in time web-enabled are now becoming mobile-enabled. And while we see the security risks which were there in the web world, we're seeing all of that translating now into the mobile world. So this morning when I was ready to get up and I started moving and I could look for my phone and my wallet, the first thing I did was to call my wife and ask her, did you find my purse? And obviously she knows where it is more than I do. It always happens when you're married, the purse is always your wife. So I asked her where my purse and she gets it to me.